Like, I'm very disciplined, and I think that's a crucial aspect of anybody who wants something in life like they say they do. My thing is, I'm going to outwork everybody, and I'm gonna prove it by being successful this way. My name is Joshua Leonard. I'm a 2D animator and a character designer currently at Netflix. I'm also the owner of Leonard Studios, which is an animation production company that is slowly on the rise. I grew up in Homestead, Florida, where I was born. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, 2 now. My older brother just passed away in August, and I have a 15-year-old daughter, named Sanaya. I'm a military brat. So left after Hurricane Andrews. I lived in Alaska. I lived in Maryland, the DMV area, and Biloxi, Mississippi. Currently in Atlanta, Georgia from Hurricane Katrina. My father, everybody would think my father would be strict since he's the Air Force. He's the Air Force man. So, but it wasn't really him. He was real laid back. It was my mother who was the strict one. So I always wanted to be in church and stuff like that. But I remember Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays. So as a child, we like, man, obviously we had to go, we kids, but she was very strict towards us, and me being the youngest, it was a little harder for me. I always just was an artist and wanted to play ball. So if I can get out of the house and play a sport, I was playing it. I played hockey, baseball, football, boxing, track. I mean, anything to get me out of the house while my father was at work, because my mother was so strict. So somebody passed in my family, and my parents had to go back to Texas for the funeral. I ended up staying with my best friend in Maryland, and he played football. I wasn't allowed to play football. I was like, man, I wanna play this, man. So I'm like, man, see if your parents can call mine and see if I can kind of try out. And they let me do it, and it was a wrap after that. When I the fact that I got to hit people and get hit, and because it was hard for me as a child, being in a strict household like that. You need to get out and hit some stuff, and hit the right stuff. You know what I mean? So, and that goes along with the choices that we make as children and adults. So I could have went and did something wrong, but I chose the athletic part of it. So my father, he pretty much raised me to just be a man of integrity. And as a child, I didn't know what integrity was, but my father told me that integrity is not what you do when somebody's watching, it's what you do when they're not watching. So that was a big, he taught me that, and it just stayed with me as an adult. So I still try to keep that same mindset, even dealing with today. Unfortunately, I got to learn the hard way from my brother. Shout out to Jason Leonard. He passed in August last year from pneumonia. He was kind of in trouble in and out of my childhood. So I do feel like he was put here in my life and on earth to first teach me how to draw. He taught me how to draw. Taught me how to draw Garfield when I was in kindergarten, and to let me see what not to do and what to do, So I'm real grateful for him and his lessons that he taught me. That's pretty much it. I'm now currently in Atlanta. Graduated from the Art Institute in 2018. During my time, 2014 to 2018, I had President Mavet there. Shout out to President Mavet. He taught me a lot. I remember, like, my first day, he told me, pull me to the side. He's like, look, you're gonna have to brand yourself at this school. That's what this school is gonna do for you, like brand. And once I learned that, that's what I did. That's what I did. I sat in the front of each class. I really wanted my teachers to know, like, I'm there for a reason. I'm gonna be your best student. I'm serious about this. The school costs too much money for me to blow, you know what I mean? So, and it worked, man. I had a blast, learned a lot. And they really got behind me and promoted me as one of their top top students. Going back to us growing up in a strict household, we weren't able to watch stuff like other kids. I can only watch certain Disney movies, certain, I wasn't allowed to watch like cartoons that had like fighting and stuff like that. So I ended up having to watch like Looney Tunes. So I'm seeing these cartoons, I'm like, man, this is dope. And that's back in the day where they were painting on the cells, frame by frame, Disney, all of these type of people. And so I was seeing that and I wanted to do it. So that's kind of where that came from. And even as an athlete, I was really good, but I also still had that, I still wanted to be an animator back in the, if I get hurt or anything, or if I retire in sports, I'm still gonna have this backdrop. So I never put that pen down after that. So, and then I blew my knee, hyperextended my knee, and everything happens for a reason. So we here now, and I'm 100% healthy now. So I had Team Supreme I did back in 2009, but I didn't know how to animate. I didn't know how to do character design properly. So Team Supreme is a cartoon that features a black main character. It's a black creator about kids who have a disability, but they have superpowers. Everybody knows somebody or has a family member with a disability or a certain medical difference. And it came from the lack of diversity and inclusion I saw in animated cartoons and film. With black people being like less than 4% of the industry, which is really a slap in the face, it's not a good look. Because in my eyes, I'm like, man, you'll tell better stories if you have a diverse team of people. So I really wanted to touch on that while like showing the industry, like, look, man, if y'all are not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And that's really what it came from. It was me being selfish, like I'm gonna create this show that I wanna see. If you like it, great. If you don't, I wanna see it. So I'm gonna create it for me regardless. And maybe a child or a child's family member can see this and maybe get something out of it. So I feel like my team that I have, as it pertains to Lena and Rishi and Hillman Grad and Jason Weaver, my writer's named Giselle. She's from Miami too. She's Cuban and she's actually deaf. So the thing about Team Supreme that's dope, and I don't know any other cartoons that are doing it, but my show is inclusive and diverse to people with disabilities. So that's who's gonna be working on it. I'm gonna have a writer's room with people with disabilities, black, white, I don't care what nationality. That's how you bring the stories together. You bring their issues and their what they go through in life along with these writers, and we put it all together, and that's how we're gonna make a masterpiece. So as I was doing this research, I fell in love with, oh man, they're able to do this. They're capable of doing this even with one leg. Or a blind person has this now that they're hearing or their eyesight is gone. So I'm learning all this stuff. I'm like, man, this is gonna be dope. So not only am I teaching the viewers, it's a dope cartoon as well, So, and that's why I'm saying I think everybody has some type of disability. Some people tell me I'm on the spectrum. I don't know. I do, I watch the same movies over and over. Like I have a linear path, like a laser focus. And if I want to do it, I'm gonna go get it. I knew I wanted Team Supreme to really pop off. I don't think I've ever felt like giving up. Like I'm very disciplined, and I think that's a crucial aspect of anybody who wants something in life like they say they do. So when I was a student at the Art Institute, I was working 2 jobs. I had Leonard Studios. I was doing artwork for NFL players while in school, while working full-time with Home Depot. So I was getting off, I was working 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. for Home Depot full-time, going to school full-time, stayed up until like 3 or 4, doing my artwork, homework, studying. Even out of all those 4 years that I went to the Art Institute, I got 1 B. I say that because you have to sacrifice certain things. Like I tell my daughter, like, you say you want to do this, how bad do you want to do it? Like you may not have time to go to the mall and go party or go do something, but my thing is I'm going to outwork everybody, and I'm gonna prove it by being successful this way. Before my daughter was born, I was still gonna be successful, but I was like, I'll get there. Now my daughter's born, it's like I have to There's no excuses now, no excuses. And I'll never forget, back then when she was born, I think she was like 3 or 4. I didn't have a lot of money. And I went to a restaurant. Her food went clear on my card and mine declined. But it was embarrassing, but at the same time, I was like, man, at least she got her food. I eat whatever I can. But so certain things like that, it just really motivated me to do my best and put my best foot forward. And I tell my daughter now, and people listening in general, I'm like, it doesn't matter what your job is or what you do, take pride in your work regardless. I don't care if you are a janitor. Do your best work. You know, you never know. My dad always told me, somebody's always watching. Whether you think they are or not, somebody's always watching. Even with my artwork, like I'm always drawing. Like I get off work now, and I'll draw. I'll stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning drawing. I'm doing client work now, or work for Netflix and stuff like that, but I'm always trying to learn something new. I'll never be done learning. And that's just with anything in life.